Opening Chapter. Enigma of the Gorgoneion Amulet. Written by R. M. Kensington. Narrated by Jenny. Copyright 2023 R. M. Kensington, all rights reserved. The characters and events portrayed in this book are fictitious. Any similarity to real persons, living or dead, is coincidental and not intended by the author. No part of this book may be reproduced or stored in a retrieval system or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without express written permission of the publisher. Enigma of the Gorgoneion Amulet. Chapter 2. Maya and Matt heaved the massive boar onto the kitchen counter with a thud. Its rough, wiry hair was matted with dirt and blood, and the scent of the animal filled the air. Maya scanned the cavern, but didn't see any trace of Kyra. She wondered where her friend could have gone, but her stomach growled with hunger, overpowering her curiosity. She turned back to the boar on the counter, ready to start preparing it for the days ahead. Matt began working on the boar with careful concentration as he skinned the animal, giving it the respect it deserved. Maya and Matt had worked in silence, but Matt he spoke up, "I apologize for showing up unannounced. I would have sent a carrier pigeon to relay my arrival, but it all happened with a blink of an eye." Maya turned her attention to him as she worked with her hunting knife. Matt's lips twisted in a twinge of guilt. "My things mysteriously disappeared while I slept on the ferry to France. My quest would have been much simpler if I could have flown my way here, but my father's Hermes sandals were stolen. He doesn't mind because he has many, but I only had one pair of Talarian sandals, and he won't send another even though he's the best messenger in the whole wide world. I still don't know if it was another demigod or just a nereid mocking me. It's hard to trust anyone when you've been alone for so long." "It happens to us demigods, doesn't it?" she said, smirking bitterly. Matt's lips curled in agreement. "You can say that again. It's made it impossible to travel with ease since Zeus sent down the decree banning all forms of modern technology. I've been on the road finding my way from Britain through to Greece. It's been several months, and I'm no closer to achieving my goal than when I started." Maya couldn't help but feel a twinge of sympathy for the demigod standing before her. She knew firsthand how challenging it was to navigate the world without the help of mortal devices. "What's got you stumped?" she finally asked, placing the thinly cut slices on hooks above an open fire to dry. "There must have been a reason to come all this way to find me. When I received my quest, I was asked to seek out Maya of Castoria, daughter of Athena. I had no clue where Castoria was, so I tracked down a skilled cartographer and requested he make a celestial map for me that led me to you," he explained. "My father, Hermes, told me that only you could craft an amulet for me," he continued, his voice cracking with emotion. "I can craft this amulet you seek, and you don't need to tell me what the reason is. That's for you, and you alone, to know." Maya reassured him, hoping that she could help him complete his quest and ease his burden. Maya flipped the steaks over and watched as they sizzled in the hot skillet. She couldn't help but feel a sense of responsibility for the demigod standing before her. She knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, and she didn't want to be the reason for his failure. As she cooked, she thought about Matt's quest and the weight of his words. He had come all this way to seek her out, and she knew that she couldn't refuse him. But the thought of leaving her cavern, her sanctuary, was daunting. "I want to consider your proposal, I really do. But, if you looked around, there's plenty of work for me to complete here. And I don't know if I'm ready to leave this place behind." Matt nodded his head, understanding the gravity of her words. "I don't expect an answer right away. Take some time to think it over, and if you do decide to join me, I'll be forever grateful. I'll repay you in potions that you can use for rare enchantments." She said nothing, her mind already occupied. "I hope these last words will tip the balance." The amulet I seek is the legendary Gorgoneion Amulet. The same artifact that was created by Athena long ago. It was believed to have the power to ward off evil and protect its wearer from harm. You're telling me I'd be able to recreate Mother's amulet that was placed on the Aegis shield? Maya said in excitement. That's the one. It would make you the best blacksmith of the decade, nay, the century to come. Maya's eyes glinted. You should have said led with this news. Matt's words hung in the air for a moment as Maya thought about what his proposal. She couldn't deny that the prospect of creating such a unique item was tempting, but at the same time, she couldn't let herself be swayed solely by the promise of prestige. I won't deny that the idea of crafting something so rare is enticing, but it's not the only reason I do what I do, Maya said as she turned the steaks in the skillet. I have a responsibility to my patrons here, and I can't just abandon them for my own personal gain. So there is something that would get you out of this dingy cavern? Kyra yells from across the cavern, angrily flinging the herbs and mushrooms on the counter. It's funny how you'll consider going on another demigod's quest, but when I propose the same question, it means nothing to you, she says, storming off to her room. Matt raised his eyebrow in curiosity and watching Kyra storm off. And, what's going on there? Maya sighed. She's been angry since we went hunting. Want to talk about it? He asked. No, but maybe I do need to leave this murky old cavern for a while. When I left to hunt today, I thought it had been so long since I had seen the sun. Well, there are some downsides to having a protege. You can't have her do everything for you. You're right, I don't mean to do that. It's just that all I've done since I left the Pantheon is toil away at my hammer. I can see your passion through your work, he said, raising his hunting knife, carved with such detail it took his breath away every time he looked at it. But, you don't look happy. I've been out of touch with the world for so long, I'm becoming mad. All I do is work away, and maybe Kyra is right. I need to take an adventure and clear my mind and reset. Matt pieced together their tiff instantly. So she asked you to take a retreat and you refused. How did you figure? Intuition is a skill for most people, but for me, it's a gift as well. I wish I had that gift. They always say the children of Athena have wisdom, but I'm sure Mother skipped that out when she gave birth to me. Maya moved the jerky into the smoke from the blacksmith's chimney to turn the meat into jerky. The aroma of the meat cooking and the smoky scent of the chimney filled the room. Matt took the herbs and fruits from the kitchen counter and chopped them up carefully. It's okay, Maya. You don't have to give me an answer tonight. Take your time and think it over. Maya made her way to Kyra's room and gently knocked on the door before calling out to her. Kyra, it's time for dinner, she said, her voice carrying through the sleek iron door she cast herself. She heard Maya's voice and her footsteps as she walked away. Kyra smelled the sizzling meat mixed with the fragrant aroma of rosemary and garlic had wafted through the halls, drew her towards the kitchen. It made her feel slightly better that each herb was carefully selected, each sprig would release their flavor at the most. As she made her way to the hearth of the cavern, dinner was served. It was just the way she liked it, served on a flat iron plate. You remembered to heat up my iron plate, she said, her lips curling into a small smile. She was far from happy, but for now, she called a truce. You love how it sizzles, and I think I'll have to make more of those plates. The steaks look much more appetizing that way, Maya replied, hoping it would give her some comfort. We should send out blessings to the gods for bringing us this food. I prepared an extra steak for the fire. I'll do it, Kyra said as she got up and tossed the succulent meat into fire. Thank you for blessing us with this wild boar. We return to you. Matt stayed quiet, hesitant to introduce himself at first. As they eat, the tension grew, echoing into the cavern. The silence was screaming for attention. He met Kyra's eyes. I'm Matt. He awkwardly took out his hand. Kyra, she said, and shook his hand. We don't usually greet people like that here. You must not be from around here. No, I came from a small town in Cambridgeshire, England. So, Matt of England, what are you doing all the way out here? I've been given a quest to return my honor. And what was the unspeakable deed you did to have a wrath of a god punish you to take out this quest? Don't make it out to be sinister, Kyra. I broke my father's trust and I've been punished for it. I'm sorry, Matt. I don't speak in riddles, you're going to have to be much clearer than that. Matt glared at Kyra, and the room felt burning hot to Maya. Everyone, let's calm down now. Kyra, it's unfair for you to judge another demigod. Even more so that you don't know him or his story. You're infuriating, Maya. How could you take his side? You've only just met him and you're already on your merry way on your next adventure. I won't argue with you in front of our guest, Maya replied in her sturdiest voice. Kyra's appetite gone, she threw the plate on the dining table. Well, excuse me for not being more perfect. Not everyone is like you, Maya. We can't all as gifted as you are, perfect at everything you do, she cried out, desperate to dispel her imperfections. Matt intervened, I think I'm going to take my leave. Maya yelled in his face without thinking. No, stay. No, he can go, Kyra added quickly. He's my guest. I'll decide when he stays or goes. They continued bickering, and when they were done, Maya turned to where Matt was sat. Tell her. Oh, no, where has he gone? I'm going to go and look for him, and made a run for it out of the cavern. It was pitch black outside with an eeriness surrounding her that she ignored. As she glanced around, she found a glint of light flickering in the distance. She was relieved he was still in range, and lucky it hadn't rained tonight, the ground dry and crisp to run on. Maya's focused on the light, doing her best to chase the flicker in her light tracking boots in hopes of reaching Matt in time. The light became dimmer with each step she took. And then it was gone. Closing chapter. Enigma of the Gorgoneion Amulet. Written by R. M. Kensington. Narrated by Jenny. Copyright 2023 R. M. Kensington, all rights reserved. The characters and events portrayed in this book are fictitious. Any similarity to real persons, living or dead, is coincidental and not intended by the author. No part of this book may be reproduced, or stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without express written permission of the publisher.
Hey there, it's been incredible sharing Enigma of the Gorgoneion Amulet chapters with you on my channel. But wait, there's so much more in store. If you're as hooked on this adventure as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the upcoming chapters. And hey, don't forget to turn on notifications so you're the first to know when a new chapter drops. Your support means the world to me, so if you're enjoying the journey, give this video a thumbs up by hitting that like button. It helps more people discover this amazing story. Your clicks aren't just clicks. They're an express ticket to the next chapters of Enigma of the Gorgoneion Amulet. So let's keep the excitement going. Hit those buttons and let's keep diving into this thrilling tale together. Thanks for being an awesome part of this journey. Stay tuned for more and keep coming back for the next chapters. Happy listening!